Couple things just very briefly, privacy myths. Okay? This is something the clerk personally asked me to put up there. Why? Because there are many misnomers about what information is public and what information is private. There are, I think, in my opinion, these are the several categories where there is most confusion on this topic. What you see on the board in front of you or behind you is all public record, at least when it applies in a court record. Driver's license numbers. If you get a speeding ticket and you have a traffic case that is generated as a result of your speeding ticket, guess what? A copy of that ticket is online. Guess what? A copy of your driver's license number is online. Now you say, wait a minute. Why is my driver's license online? Why does anyone need to know that? The answer is, it's not about what people need to know. It's about what the rules actually say and what the law actually says. Okay? The law tells us that that information is public record, and so we have no choice but to disclose it to the public. But that's a common question I get. The divorce cases we talked about earlier is another example of public record. Baker Act cases, the patient's clinical record is not confidential. The patient's clinical record is confidential. Patient's clinical record is confidential, but other information is not. Traffic tickets, again, are public information, as are criminal cases and injunctions that have been dismissed. So I wanted to at least put that slide on there just to clear up some of the myths and misnomers that tend to accompany this. Non-court records, 90% of what I talked about this evening, actually 100% of what I talked about up until now, was court records. So I'm going to mention just very briefly that we do have some records at the clerk's office which are not court records. And I really only put this slide up there just more as an FYI, just in case there's that one person in the audience who says, oh, well, wait a minute, David, don't you have records that aren't subject to the rules of judicial administration? The answer is yes, we do. We have some rules, or we have some records, which are actually fall within Chapter 119, which is Florida statutes, the public records law. You can see some examples of non-court records, which I put on the board, things like organizational charts, emails, contracts that we might have with our software companies. All of that is public record, and it is subject to the same disclosure requirements as most other public records. If you want to request non-court records, we have a process in place for you to do that. You could see public records, public.records, at myorangeclerk.com. That's usually the easiest way to do it. You don't have to do it by email, but I suggest it. That way it creates a written record of your request. That's always good to protect you as well as protect us. Your request will be acknowledged promptly. We're always very good about that. And as long as it's public record, we will release it. If there's a charge, we'll let you know.